What's up, everyone? I'm just going to walk through price for GBPUSD last week, the 3rd of June to the 8th of June. Now, coming into the week, as you can see, last week, this is where we positioned. We actually built up equal highs below a very, very extreme supply point. Basically, the supply point that started this entire move with this pullback here, mitigation, take of liquidity, and push down to break this low here. So knowing that, when the market manipulates and builds equal highs like this below a point, that's where you can, yourself get into a swing trade. Set there, just to at least expect price to approach this, take out the liquidity, and then give a reaction. So we knew coming into last week that we were about here Monday, pushing up to here. This is where we were coming. And then this point here would hold a lot of strength in giving a reaction to the downside. Now, understanding that there is equal highs here, this could have pushed up even higher and possibly even take out this high because this is pretty filled, or at least react off the inducement of these equal highs here and in this supply area as such at the top, which is the very extreme of this move. So anyway, we came into last week, came up to this point. If we just jump down to the 15-minute, now last week wasn't bad in terms of price action. We've actually had great price action. It's just price gave our entries, our A+ entries at really odd times. So 2 of the entries were during Asian session, and I'll explain why. And then from that, we didn't actually have any A+ setups. So it was a couple of continuations. One which was called to our live group, and the other one I caught myself. So I'll explain those anyway. So basically, starting the start of the week, we knew we could possibly buy here. You've got a clear manipulation entry. We know we're bullish. You've got that liquidity underneath. You've got the break of structure, 2 break of structure to the upside, and then you've got the liquidity to the upside with an imbalance and a demand point below. So this is very, very quite simple. Trading swing type strategy, you could just set this point or at least under that liquidity as an entry, understanding that we're coming for that higher point where you'd catch a nice trade. But it's not how we trade, but something like that is very reasonable. Coming into the week, this was early Monday, so we don't trade this time. Not a lot of volatility in the market, and enough entries present themselves normally out in London and New York session. So it wasn't a time for us. Price pushed up. No entries as such, nothing up top. We obviously came to that 4-hour point. Sorry, this was just after London time. Sorry, my bad. Just after London time. No entries that actually gave us an entry. I know there was a couple of people that caught it in the group, but for this wasn't an A+ entry. And to start the week off, you want to take that A+ entry. So coming into the week, really obvious manipulation to the downside to push down, fill this demand point, and then push up to where we were coming, those equal highs. So this was Asian session, and this actually gave an entry. I'm not going to walk through it. Only simple reason of this price action was pretty slow and pretty bad. It was your typical Asian chop. There was an entry, but it's very, very dodgy in terms of an entry because of that price action. So then coming into Tuesday, we popped down here at London. Now, understanding we are bullish, yes, this does hold a lot of value compared to a point like this, and you can expect that this will at least push through this point. But in terms of our strategy, we may be able to catch a retracement up into this supply area before it continues lower. So looking here, understand we are bullish. We did look for an entry, and one did present itself. And with these type of entries, you can expect to break even when you've done everything correctly and followed your rules. So basically, we had our first requirement for our entry pushed down. We then got an entry model itself, understanding that this is the supply point where you can actually sell off of coming into this session. As you can see, price actually induced on London Open here, induced all of this liquidity. So there was a sell model here, but to start the week, we weren't looking at that because it's not A+. So here, buy model, once price breaks and comes into the supply break even and a break even to start the session. Now, this is where I caught that next continuation entry. Basically, price was showing that we were coming lower, coming to at least this demand here or to this demand area, extreme demand down here. We've broken past here. It didn't give us a buy model off the inducement of this. Understanding what EU was doing, I used the SMT divergence on the 2 pairs to understand an entry model here. 1 minute entry could have taken full at this point here, but instead just, I think it was a 1 to 3. I grabbed full out, and when I spoke about it and called it, I said people should go 1 to 5 as it will. So 1 to 3 or 1 to 5, I pulled 1 to 3, full take profit, but not an A+ entry and one we don't like to take. This is a much better one. So break even and an entry there to start the week off. Then coming into New York, we had New York around here, over reaction up. no A plus buy models, and we had news coming out here, which gave this news week. So, excuse me, that literally was kind of like a no session entry there. Now, coming into Wednesday, price pulled down, chopped around, no entries, nothing. We knew price wanted to react off this lower point. There's this small demand here, understanding that this gave us a break of structure to the upside, but didn't come to supply yet. So we were either coming, based on some rules we were coming to this supply here before continuing lower, or we were going to come to demand to continue that supply. That's basically something we go through inside of our Discord as well. But that's how we viewed price there, with this little break of structure to the upside, understanding that our 15-minute range to the downside was actually, if I can find where I was this break internally to the downside here. So we're working in this 15 internal break to the upside. So it's like internal. We understand we're coming here, or we're coming down here, push up here. That's following price this week, like I said, wasn't the best, but if you understand and follow those basic rules in terms of breaks of structures and can control your ranges, you were able to stay on top of this. So we knew could possibly buy here. News came out here. There was a big news event here, red folder. So we didn't look for a buy. We were off the charts and no entry model as such. Coming into Thursday, this is where the next entry was during Asian session. We weren't looking during Asian session. It may be something we add in at some point, but for us, there's just enough entries outside of that. So price gave us an A plus entry out of here. I'm not going to walk through that, but very, very nice A plus entry to attack, understanding we're coming out of supply that moved the market. We're going to either come down to break this or push up, break through this liquidity like the news did, and push down. So this was really the last chance at entry. Understanding this is where I called a sell that we had here, another continuation sell based on the timing of manipulations. So we had a manipulation at London Open, which then led to a lower time frame entry confirmation. I set this point here. I was missed by 0.1 pips, where price actually came down to this low here. That was the low that was targeted there. So 1 to 8, or you could target this smart money trap area, which we walk through why that is the case, which is a 1 to 4, even the bottom, which is a 1 to 5. So very, very easy continuation. Price literally messed about. This was a whole day of price action. As you can see, very, very, very choppy. If you sit in this, you literally just go break even and then wait. But very, very nice trade. There was a couple that caught that, targeting at least that point, or you target the lows there. This created equal lows. Nice sweep here after creating a smart money trap here, and then push up. So just lower time frame and confirmations on why it was going there. But very, very nice entry. Just sucks. Myself didn't get tagged in. Moving on until the end of the week. Once you realize that this price action was a full 24 hours, this price action here, it literally moved inside this box, which is a total of, I would hate to even think, that is 30 pips up and down. So you think it moved 60 pips and it ended up in the same direction. For us, that was a no trading day coming into Friday. We had NFP Friday, which you can see, it did exactly what we knew it was going to do. Just one of those things you can't get in. Sometimes news is just it is the catalyst for trades to play out. We do understand that news pushes it further in our direction and our biases still play out. It's just, unfortunately, we cannot force a trade or gamble, because this news week, you would lose a lot. So just one of those things we had to just sit through here, no trades taken, didn't even look at the charts. Excuse me. And then, yeah, coming into that was basically it. So that is that price action for that for last week. There was nothing in terms of intra-session trades that fitted our A plus rules. Couple of continuations. Ideally, probably a no trade week. Chasing those, a couple were called out. A plus here and A plus entry here. Just couldn't catch them being an Asian session. And then this is where the next A plus setup would have come, but unfortunately, news is the one that took all that liquidity, wicked out, filled the imbalance of that supply, and pushed down to those lower areas where we expected price to come into, to at least this demand or to this hourly demand down here. So that is price action for last week. Like I say at the end of every video, any questions, chuck them in the comment section. If you guys are looking to join the live group where we teach and go through this and also trade live, first link in the description. If not, I'll see you guys next week, and yeah, let's have a good week.